I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Hello, people of the internet. What is today? January 19th, Sunday, January 19th. Last night, my Detroit Lions were defeated by the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels. Am I right? Goodness. Anyway, my friends called me or texted me to make sure that I was okay. And to which I had to remind them, as I have told them many, many times. First of all, being a lifetime Lions fan means that one is very comfortable with disappointment. Secondly, most importantly, my emotional and psychological well-being isn't tied into a sports team. Disappointed? Absolutely. And if this were a sports channel, we could break down the X's and O's and the strategies and the mistakes that were made. But this is not a sports channel. It's a toy channel. And, but I will always represent my team. When they were 0-16, I represented my team. 15-2. Next year, I'll represent my team. But again, the sun does not rise and set for me with my sports team. It is now another day, and we are here to talk about this guy. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video called the top 10 figures I would like to buy that I am not going to buy in the year of 2025. If I knew how to, I would put a link in the corner there that would take you to that video, but I don't know how to. I guess I could look it up, but then that's too much like work, and we don't have time for that. And the number one figure that I would like to buy, that I was not going to buy, was the Muff Toys Protector of Metropolis. Obviously, I have this figure, but wait, there is an explanation. If I tell you something, most of the time, that's something I tell you is going to be true, and I'm usually a man of my word, but there is a reason why I have this figure. It's kind of not my fault why I have this figure. There is a reason. So, some weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago actually, I ordered two figures from AliExpress. A Piecer Toys Batman and Superman. Actually did a video on the Superman, which will air in the near future, because he came broken, and that Batman never did come. These figures cost like $55 a piece. So I go to AliExpress and I let them know. Actually, I went to the vendor first and said, hey, the Batman never came. They apologized. They said just apply for a refund. Go to AliExpress and I said, hey, the Batman never came. Just need a refund. And AliExpress said, okay, we'll investigate, whatever that means. And they were like, yeah, our investigation, yeah, we think you got it. But I showed them the email and the chat from the vendor and sent it to them, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we still think that maybe you got it. I'm like, well, if that's the game you want to play, AliExpress, recognize that I have no loyalty to any manufacturer or any vendor, that you are only as good to me as our last transaction. I have no problems cutting you loose, but I have $55 on the line. Anyway, so I went to the vendor, Anime Model Figure Supplier. If you ever shop at AliExpress, I'm not recommending that you do now, but if you do, shop at Anime Model Figure Express, AMFS. Anime Model Figure Supplier. Anime Model Figure Supplier. I said, hey, so I tell you what, why don't you take the money that I paid you guys for that Batman and just credit me for this thing? And they were like, that works for us. And sure enough, they credited it. And this figure is not cheap. It costs like 95 bucks. So 55, so I ended up paying $40 in addition to the $55, whatever the difference was. And now we have the Protector of Metropolis to look at. So for the most part, I am still holding true to my word that I told you guys, that 2025 is a year of not purchasing things, because I, like a lot of you guys, have too much stuff. Let's just start looking at the stuff that we already have. But let's say we go over to the table and see what's in the box. We have here the Protector of Metropolis. Just so you know, we have some third-party Superman to join our third-party Clark Kent. And while I don't think Superman needs Lois Lane, I absolutely believe Clark Kent needs a Lois Lane. And playing the part of Lois Lane today, we have the body of Marma McTaggart and the head of a Black Widow. Yes, I understand that traditionally Lois is not a redhead, but I think Amy Adams is a redhead, so there is a precedent. Anyway, as you can see, we have our Protector of Metropolis in their nice little Muff Toys box here. I don't know, that S stand for Superman? I don't know. With Clark, a real American hero, even though, you know, he's an alien, and a legal one at that, because I don't think he has papers. I think Bro can look forward to some deportation coming his way. Let's see what we got here. As we get off this cellophane. As I opened it, I smelt that brand new, I'm sure it's some kind of carcinogen chemical smell, which I absolutely love. And here goes Clark looking like a mummy, all wrapped up safe with all of the things he comes with. My goodness, we are excited to get this guy. This is a very solidly built box, by the way. Layers and layers of gear for Clark. Has a lot of hands. There's a lot of hands for a Superman. Even a Clark, but I guess Clark Kent needs hands. Superman maybe not so much. So let's say we unwrap all this stuff, and we'll be back in a second. Well, as you can see, Clark comes loaded up with stuff, wearing his clearly off-the-rack suit, because we know Clark does not make a lot of money. He is no Bruce Wayne. He has his London fog overcoat. He has his camera, he has a spare fedora, another head wearing the fedora, his briefcase. There are 2 copies of the Daily Planet there. He has his Superman onesie. Here goes a lanyard with his press badge. Glasses. Oh man, those things look like that's something I'm going to lose real quick. 5 pairs of hands. And in this little bag, we have a necktie, which looks like somebody needs to have tiny hands to tie, some tweezers, and a pair of cuffs for Clark Kent. But hey, let's say we take a closer look at the Protector of Metropolis. So there is a lot going on here with this guy. We went ahead and put on his glasses, because obviously Clark needs to have his glasses. As you can see, he has a very nice head sculpt. As an action figure, he seems to have all of the necessary action figure things. He has double jointed elbows. It feels like there is a butterfly joint underneath all of the clothing. His suit jacket is wired, I guess, to cut away as the wind as he's flying to become Superman. He has double jointed knees. And look at those shoes, man. Look at those shoes. Are those, man? His suit may be cheap, but you know, Clark knows that a man needs to have a nice pair of Stacey Adams if he's gonna walk into a room, send a message. Nice shoes. Just love the shoes. And that's just the basic of the figure, because his London fog also is wired under here to fly away in the wind. Yes, there's so much. He has a lot of stuff, man. He has a lot of stuff going on here. And this is a nice face they've given Clark. Should they have given him the curl? I don't know. Should he have the curl? I guess maybe that's what this head is for. Because if he has the curl, I don't know if the glasses are enough to hide the fact that he's Superman. Now I am comfortable with the fact that I have no idea who this guy is. Who the heck is that? Certainly not Superman. And here goes Clark, who balances pretty well on one foot, I must say. We changed a pair of hands on him so he could pull open his jacket, because under his I would say Brooks Brothers, but this is clearly a JCPenney suit and an Arrow shirt. He is wearing his Superman costume, and I will say the S looks very good. It's slightly raised. I guess we could, as an example, you can see on his onesie, because actually this is a full upper body suit, and I'm not sure quite what the onesie is for without the arms, but yeah, it's a slightly raised Superman, but still kind of nicely embedded in the costume. Nice and stretchy. It's very nice. It's very impressive. But yeah, Superman looks... he looks good. Is this... how are you going... If you were to buy this figure, how would you display him? Would you display him like this? With his... shirt open as he's running towards a phone booth to turn into Superman? I'm not quite sure. Or do you just leave him as a regular Clark Kent? I'm not sure. What do you do with this guy? He looks good. Oh, okay, Clark. I see you. Anyways, we were trying to adjust some things on Clark. This is what he looks like under the jacket. As you can see, is anybody concerned that, or ever noticed that Clark Kent does seem to work out an awful lot? He seems to be rather fit to be a little, I guess, normal dudes can work out, so that's not too strange, I guess. We were putting, apparently Bruce Wayne has been murdered. And the thing about this newspaper is there seems to be a story in this newspaper in tiny text of the Daily Planet. Too bad, obviously I don't know who could actually read it, but it seems to be an actual story in there. One problem that could occur with this figure, as I was trying to change his hands to put his paper and his notebook and his briefcase in, is that this ball peg is the same ball peg that this guy uses. I'm assuming they have similar bodies, or similar, maybe Piecer Toys and Muff Toys are using the same figure. I don't know, but I know that his ball peg broke back there on me, and I had to kind of fix it. And this is a similar one, and mind you, it's kind of difficult because it's so shallow to get the hands to stay. I heat it up a little bit, and I guess you want to be careful because they don't give you an extra one, so you don't want to break it. So I would be very, very careful with those wrist ball pegs as we let's get that lanyard on you, brother, under that head, as we put on his hat. And also these tweezers, because when I untucked his shirt to reveal the S, these tweezers are here to tuck the shirt back in. And if you don't tie his tie back up, then you have to pull his tie back up, because there's like no Velcro or anything holding the shirt down. It only stays closed by tucking it in all the way and pulling his tie all the way up. Otherwise, he's going to be walking around with a big S, and, people are going to, get wind of who he is. And these glasses, man, they scare me. These glasses scare me because I don't want to lose these. I can't lose these. I wish they had given me like 5 pairs of these, because obviously without these, He is not Clark Kent. These are these are critical for my guy. Critical for my guy. And here go Lois and Clark waiting for the bus because, you know, Clark ain't got no car. Has Clark ever driven a car before? I know that he doesn't have to drive, but does Clark even have a driver's license? And Lois left the house with no coat on. As you can see, Lois is wildly inappropriately dressed for the job. But Lois don't listen to nobody. Anyway, that's a good time to do a size comparison. This is our Muff Toys Clark Kent next to a standard Marvel Legends female. Also, I found it easier to put his London fog on while taking off his suit jacket. Otherwise, it's just way too many clothes to try to put on my man. And here goes Clark next to a standard Marvel Legend. They are pretty much, I think the camera might be throwing the angle off a little bit, but they are pretty much the exact same size. So if you wanted to, he would scale perfectly with your Marvel Legends. And here goes Clark standing next to a standard sized McFarlane figure. As you can see, they don't scale well at all with each other. Here goes Clark standing next to an old school DC Multiverse BVS Superman. He is much bigger than those guys. I forget at how small those original DC Multiverse figures actually were. And here goes Clark next to the BMS Kingdom Come Superman and the Piece of Toy Superman. They are all exactly the same size. I suspect they might even be using the same body in some ways. But yes, they all scale very well together. They would look all very good together on your Superman shelf. And for grins and giggles, here goes Clark Kent standing next to Garrix, the evil robot, one of my all-time favorite action figures from NECA. I just love this guy. This guy is a trip. He is a wonderful, if they were cheaper, I'd buy like 10 of these and just have an army of Garrix the robot, the evil robot. But yes, he's a robot, so sure, he scales fine with Clark Kent over here. And here goes Muff Toys Clark Kent. Yeah, this figure is pretty amazing. He's also wearing his, has his glasses in his hands, which you really can't see. With the dark background and the frailness of the glasses. Yeah, this thing is amazing. It is a phenomenal action figure. It is the Clark Kent that we all deserve. Obviously, he looks great. The articulation under his massive amount of clothes is pretty amazing. Look at, he even got his knee highs going on. I don't know, are they compression socks, Clark? Are they compression socks? Stop those DVTs? I don't know. But yeah, he looks great. Now, the problems with this figure, well, somewhat minimal. I don't like the wrist joints, the little ball pegs for the wrist. They are a pain in the butt to slip hands on him. They're easy enough to get off. You don't have to do much to get them off. Look at his clothes, because he has so many of them. You know, you're gonna have to find ways to dress him and undress him, and to get like this shirt. I'm gonna eventually tuck this shirt back in and put his tie back on. You know, I don't do that for myself, but I'm gonna have to find a way to do that for this guy because this is the way it has to be done. And he's expensive. I think $95 is a bit much for this guy. I just, you know, that's a lot of money. You know, that's is he worth it? I don't, it's hard for me to say that he is worth it. That is basically more than a Mezco figure. And even though he is Mezco nice, I still think you probably get more from Mezco and probably better quality from Mezco for less money, generally speaking. But I don't know where else you're gonna go to get yourself a Clark Kent that's looking as good as this one. This is the Clark Kent that we deserve. But price aside, and believe me, it's not easy putting price aside for anything, but price aside, this is a fantastic action figure.